talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, and that is Game Time. They're the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets in your area, whether that's sport events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest price is guaranteed. That's the Game Time guaranteed. And if you want to go to a sport event, say you want to go to Ford Field, because experience in a game is much, much better at the arena than it is on your couch, you can find Game Time picks, and it's a brand new feature for my friends from Game Time, which filters out the fluff to show you the incredible deals and great seats. You don't have to waste any more time searching for thousands of sites to get the greatest deals on tickets. The way you use Game Time picks is this. You go into the Game Time app and you find it, the game event that you want to go to. The app then will look this up in a 3D view. Select the Game Time picks button on top of the screen and it automatically does the research for you. And it filters out tickets in the database to give you the best deals and the best seats, so you don't have hours of bunch of different ticketing sites trying to find the best tickets. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. And in the middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is. And if you move your phone left or right, you can see the surrounding area like a 3D live photo. Also, all pricing is right there for you, so you're not going to get no hidden fees at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. How do you do it? You download Game Time, plug in Chat Sports, and you're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. Again, go to the redeem code section, plug in Chat Sports. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. You got to create an account. You got to have an email to save that money. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of this video. So if you're buying Lions tickets this year, make sure you're using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. Welcome to the One Pride Podcast. We talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. In this stream, in this video, we're going to be talking about what's going on with the Lions. We're in the bye week, so there's no team that we're facing. We'll talk about the latest trade rumors, trade deadline, talk about a couple players, and then we're going to do some QA. Why the hell not? We got Shift God in the building, James Janella, Kobe Barrigan, TA from Lions Talk by Raw Detroit, in the building. What's up, brother? Hopefully everything's going good with you. Hunter Klein, Matt J. Williams, Lisa DeLorenzo, Angelo Nano, SMD, Extradict, Shift God. Appreciate everybody joining. There, I had to cough really quick. You started to get that, started to change the weather here in the state of Michigan, as you all know. Then we all start to get a little stuff in our throat and stuff like that. So that's what's going on here in the state of Michigan. So let's go into what you guys want to talk about, and that is the NFL trade deadline. Everyone wants to talk about that. That's the biggest thing coming up here. One in about 4 weeks. Lions been in rumors for a while now, potentially being a team that would be a buyer at the trade deadline. So question for you guys before we jump into it. Would you like the Lions to make a trade at the NFL trade deadline? In the comments, do Y for yes and N for no. Here's the thing. Davante Adams, he has been now linked to the Lions. Now, I really don't think it's the real thing. I think it's smoke, not or smoke and mirrors, not smoke that's fire. Maybe the Lions made a phone call on it, something like that. But do you really think that he would be a Detroit Lion? I think he's going to be a New York Jet or a New Orleans Saint. That just, it really seems like that's the case. You got the Jets, who their offense is terrible, right? They're all in with Karen Rodgers. It only makes sense to get Adams there, and the head coach is going to sign off on it solo, because if they don't win, he's going to be fired. So just doesn't really make sense to me when I seen this, and it still doesn't make sense. But sure, I'm sure the Lions called on. I'm sure a lot of teams called on it. Probably even probably even the Panthers called on it. And yeah, there's no way you'd go there, right? Because they're rebuild. So here's the thing. It's just the way it is. So for me at the wide receiver position, I don't know about you guys, but I'm fine with Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick, every single game since he's been playing, has shown flashes, and he's getting better, and better. I'm fine with Tim Patrick taking over the Josh Reynolds role. I think he fits perfectly. Not only that, his route running is super crisp. He's got really soft hands. He does. So I am fine with what they got now at wide receiver. I think we're perfectly good at wide receiver. The Josh Reynolds role has been filled right there. If we're talking about offense, if you're to look at anything else, it'd be more of that left guard position. Graham Glasgow hasn't been playing as good. I mean, you just seen Kyoto AOC could come in there and do good at left guard, and now Glasgow's good at center and he did good at center. So I don't think it's the wide receiver issue. I think Adams might consider Washington. Yeah, you could go Washington. You can go Jets. You can go Saints. Heck, maybe even the Dallas Cowboys will be on it. I don't know, but it just seems more of them. Now, would you guys trade for a Davante Adams? Would you do it? Now, look, if he's going to go for a fourth or a fifth round pick or something like that, every team should be looking on. And the Lions would have to look on that too, right? I think it'd probably be multiple picks. I don't think he's going to go for no second. I don't. Maybe third would be, I think, the highest that they could get for him. I just don't believe that it's going to be something. What's going on? AG Spirit of Detroit podcast. What's up? In the building. Shout out. Make sure you subscribe to my man's channel right there. So I personally don't think we need to. I'm not willing to give up a second-round pick or anything like that. Other teams would jump in. That's just my personal belief. Now, again, if you get him for butt cheeks, then I think we're all always up for that, right? If you get somebody basically for cheeks of a price, everybody would do it. I just don't see that to be the case. Just don't see it. Trade for wide receivers, gloriously luxury, not a need. TW, I agree with you 100%. Don Burr, it's Don Burr's birthday. Okay, this is for Don Burr and his birthday.
Ultra Combo! Combo Breaker! Ultra Combo!
Don the Goat Burr been repping Detroit Lions for years, going on other people's channels and tearing up the other fan bases. Don Burr is a goat. Happy birthday, man. We appreciate you. Yeah, Ruby redacted. And he says Riddick there. You see, doesn't that just make sense? Doesn't that just make sense, right? Riddick. You get the Chronicles of Riddick from the Jets. A guy who I have coveted on this team now probably for 3 years, 4 years, maybe it's been a couple years. I've been liking this guy. And he's a double sack digit guy. You can put him on the defensive line immediately. You're going to get sacks. You're going to do good on that defensive line. And I really don't think it's going to cost that much to get him. He hasn't even done anything for the Jets. I think the biggest question for, Dan Campbell or Brad Holmes is, would he be a guy who fits in their culture? Because they're always about Detroit guys and culture fits. And I'm going to defer to them 100%. If they feel like he wasn't one, okay. I'm cool with that, right? But he's got all the attributes on the field. And I haven't heard anything bad besides him wanting to get a contract. That was when he was with the Eagles. He wanted to get a contract. They wouldn't give him a contract, so he said, go to another team. And he told the Jets, I want a contract. They didn't give it to him. So I don't really think that's a bad player issue. I think he's just staying on his demands. Hey, just want a contract. James Janella says, we have $27 million cap space. We could technically afford Adams and no pass rusher. And a pass rusher. Yeah, we technically could, James Janella. We do got a ton of cap space. But then we would have no draft capital. So that would be a problem right there. Now, TW says Riddick for James Houston. I think you could send James Houston over there and maybe a 6th round pick. James Houston, a 6th round pick, something like that. You could get Hassan Reddick with that deal if that's the case. We talk about Josh Uche for the Patriots. My goodness, we'd eat on the opposite side of Hutch. Yeah, there's plenty, and that's the thing, Gabe, and I'm just putting the name for edges. Here's the thing. I'm not saying to do it right now. Here's the smart move for the Lions. Wait till the trade deadline. Why is that? Because there could be teams out there. I mean, look at Jacksonville. They're 0-4. Right? What if the Raiders suck and they continue to suck and they're a one-win team still and they're 1 in 6 or 7 before the trade deadline? I don't know how. I don't know exactly what it is. Could a Max Crosby be someone they on a trade market? There's options all over the NFL. We just don't know what team's good what team's going to be sellers, what teams are going to be buyers, what team's going to be really good, what teams are not going to be good. Nine Drinks, I'm definitely not leaving you out. Happy birthday, Nine Drinks!
Ultra Combo Breaker! Ultra Combo!
Happy birthday, Nine Drinks, man. Hopefully you're doing good, buddy. Been a sub for a long time, always supporting the channel. Appreciate you, man. Definitely not leaving you out. I got two screens here, and I'm looking at, three monitors, two screens of comments. So this is how I'm doing it. So if you notice, this is what I'm doing here. So, yeah, I think the Lions can look at multiple players at the NFL trade deadline and maybe acquire one. And I think that's smart. And I don't think that they would let him go either, TW, but we just don't know, right? We just got to wait till the trade deadline. The odds of them letting him go is low. But I'm just saying, there's teams out there that there could be sellers and there's Lions going to be buyers. So we just got to wait and see what teams are going to be sellers and what players they could be selling. What if you could get a better player right, at the trade deadline compared to right now? So, and same with the draft capital. That's what I'm saying. So they can wait. This is not something they got to do today for the trade. The Lions can hold it down for a couple weeks. I have no problem that they can do that. I think the biggest problem in the Lions defense last week wasn't really a pass rusher. It was just missing Brian Branch. I think Brian Branch makes a significant difference in this team, and Derek Barnes does as well. Because he does go after the quarterback. We don't know the timetable when he gets back. He comes off IR, in 3 weeks? He got placed on injured reserve 3.5 weeks, something like that. So we'll see how he is after he comes back from IR. But I'm not panicking about pass rush, but we do, in my opinion, need to get a pass rusher for the trade deadline. That's what I'm trying to say. Like somebody like Zadarius Smith would be nice. He fits and got some game. Yeah, we don't really know, right? We just don't know, and we're just going to wait for it. Should we worry about Minnesota to see them ranked 1 in a lot of power rankings? They're a great team. I think the Lions can beat them. They got a hell of an offense. I think they got a good defense. I think the Lions can beat them. I don't, they haven't lost a game. We've had a tough schedule too. We faced the Rams when they had their weapons until Puka Nacua got out. The Buccaneers are hot. They're 3-1. We faced the Cardinals. Man, they just savaged the team before we played them. Then they get savaged. And then we just beat the Seattle Seahawks. We're 3-0. So, it's not bad. It's not bad. And then the Rams, they fell off because now everybody's injured. So I think the Lions, the Vikings have had some good wins too, but I still think that the Lions can beat them. I think the Lions can beat them. But they're definitely a great team. They're definitely the team that we're competing with in the NFC North. Same with Green Bay, but I think that they are most definitely the biggest threats in the NFC North. There's no doubt about it. I think we're going to have to get our S together on pass rush. Yeah, hopefully, there's some players that are coming back too. After the bye week, you have some players that are able to come back from the NFI list and the IR. Remember, a lot of players are placed on it and they actually come back. Now, that's not going to be Marcus Davenport. He's done for the year. But you get Broderick Martin. It's going to help on the defensive line. Hopefully, he's good to go by then. So, the Lions do got to get it together before the trade deadline. I think the Lions got to make a move. Joshua Pascal, I know he graded out well at PFF. But our depth there is thin now. And James Houston hasn't done anything. He hasn't. So, is what it is. I think that is our biggest weakness right now. What is also another weakness, we've got 165 in the building with only 34 likes. Let's get to 100 likes right now. I think we can do that, most definitely. We can get it done. Let me see. I got to get my other view on here. Welcome to the Mailbag segment where we're going to take your questions. Your questions, I answer them and I give you my thoughts. That's what this video is all about. So if you got questions, throw it in the comments section right now with the hashtag Lions, hashtag whatever. You're going to get your question answered. We could talk about the trade deadline. We can talk about Lions and Cowboys, bye week, Jared Goff, whatever you want in the comments below. All I ask you to do is hit that like button real quick. It is easy to do, and it helps the channel out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take those questions. Says we have a situation here with Terrion Arnold with the penalties. Is this an issue? Yes, the penalties are an issue. I think it can get corrected. Penalties can get corrected. It will get corrected there. His form is fantastic, though. He stays with the receivers. He's just got to be less grabby. He's a big body. He is a fighter. And I do agree with Carlton Davis. When you have bigger players, you got to fight a little bit more. I think that would be something that the Lions are just going to have to get, Terrion Arnold better at and understand that the referees are calling it hard this year, and they're going to attack him. That's what he's got to do. We got a super chat from the Lost Angels. Says, Myles Garrett a fit. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat right there. Appreciate you so much for that. He's a fit for every team. Every single team. We'll see what happens to Cleveland. But they're a team that needs to destroy it right now. They need to sell. In my opinion, they are a crumbling organization. They got a lot of problems over there. And I know it would take probably a boatload to do something like that, but he would fit every team. Do you think that the Lions beat the Cowboys? Yes, I do. I think the Cowboys are half as good as what they were last year. They're not a good team right now. I think the Lions will beat them by double-digit points. And the Lions are going to be angry in this game. Best believe that. What do you guys think in the comments right now? Do you believe that the Detroit Lions can beat the Dallas Cowboys? Y for yes and N for no. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's take some more questions here. Let's see. We got a lot of teams give up passing yards. Who cares if we get a win? Bend, don't break, design that way. As long as I win, I don't care. As long as the Lions win, that's the only thing that matters. The stats most is about victories. But again, Phil, when we do get to play against really good teams, these penalties can cost us. We can't be doing 10 penalties or 12 penalties versus the Vikings. That's where it'll cost us, right? So we just got to get it cleaned up better for that. Yes, the end of the month, so in about 4 weeks, and I do agree with you. It would be a crime if the Lions don't add somebody. We got about 7 draft picks right now. We got even James Houston if we wanted to use a player too to potentially help and get another player. Say if we want to go a Hassan Reddick in that sense. Yeah, I think that we should. 100%. Is Ennis Rakestraw a bust? He barely ever plays. No, not at all. He's a bet. You can't play Ennis Rakestraw when you got Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold, and Amik Robertson in there. When they're in there, Ennis is not going to be playing. Ennis Rakestraw is not a bust at all. He's great. When Davis went down on the game the other night, when I didn't know how long he'd be out, but when Ennis was out there, I was like, oh, Ennis has got it. So he's not a bust at all. It's just there's so many players on there. We got another super chat by the Lost Angels. That deserves an Ultra Combo too.
Ultra Combo!
Didn't the Vikings give up 29 to the Green Bay Packers? Yeah, they did, but I must say, they're 4-0, so yeah, they gave up a lot of points. Doesn't mean they're still not good. We lost a game, so they can just point out, well, you guys lost, right? So yeah, I think we can score on them. I do. I think the Lions will score on them. It's going to be a fun game. So let's continue on here. Yes, we will beat the Cowboys. He's saying, yes, we will. Okay. Put the questions in there. I'm going to keep searching. Let me talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, and that is Game Time. They're the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets in your area, whether that's sport events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest price is guaranteed. That's the Game Time guaranteed. And if you want to go to a sport event, say you want to go to Ford Field, because experience in a game is much, much better at the arena than it is on your couch, you can find Game Time picks, and it's a brand new feature from our friends from Game Time, which filters out the fluff to show you the incredible deals and great seats. You don't have to waste any more time searching for thousands of sites to get the greatest deals on tickets. The way you use Game Time picks is this. You go into the Game Time app and you find it, the game event that you want to go to. The app then will look this up in a 3D view. Select the Game Time picks button on top of the screen and it automatically does the research for you. And it filters out tickets in the database to give you the best deals and the best seats, so you don't have hours of bunch of different ticketing sites trying to find the best tickets. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. And in the middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is. And if you move your phone left or right, you can see the surrounding area like a 3D live photo. Also, all pricing is right there for you, so you're not going to get no hidden fees at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. How do you do it? You download Game Time, plug in Chat Sports, and you're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. Again, go to the redeem code section, plug in Chat Sports. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms to apply. You got to create an account. You got to have an email to save that money. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of this video. So if you're buying Lions tickets this year, make sure you're using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. Let's continue on here with the mailbag segment. Got a question from Paul Ginder, hashtag FGB. What up, Mike? What do you think about Jake Bates barely making extra points? Well, he's only missed one. So that's the only thing I care about. He's made them. He's going to get better. And this is a raw leg of a talent. He was having issues in training camp, and he's getting better each game. I'm perfectly fine. He has made everything beside one extra point so far. Not upset about Jake Bates at the least bit. Danny Painter, I'm actually proud of him. I think he's doing a great job. He's doing better than what I thought. Hashtag Mike, the Lions will get their revenge against the Cowboys and beat them 35-27. Go Lions, one pride. I hope they put a beating on them, the likes they haven't seen, Danny Painter. I want them to drop a 40 burger on the Dallas Cowboys. What is one of the must-do tasks while at Ford Field? Ooh, how about you do a Ford Field walkthrough? You get to walk through the whole stadium. You walk on the field, walk into the locker room, do a stadium, walkthrough. You can do that and schedule one of those, so do that. Dallas not having Parsons nor Lawrence will be brutal. We're going to run 200 yards on these guys. These guys are one of the worst run defenses in football. And how do I know this? I actually drafted them on my fantasy team as a defense. What a mistake. But guess what? Montgomery is going to freaking destroy them. Destroy them on the ground. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to run all over those guys. What about Trey Hendrickson? Is he injured? I thought he was injured right now. Again, if he's available at the NFL trade deadline, I'm looking at him as well. I'm looking at a lot of pass rushers. Anybody that is available, I'm looking at. How long do you think that Ragnow out for? I say comes back he comes back to the Dallas game. I think he does. It's a small tear. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Let's see if I'm sure I missed some questions, so I'm trying to go back in the queue really quick. Find you guys more. I didn't see that there. Let's see. Should I try out next year? Oh, what in the world? Survivalist, Amber and family. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, my. Let's see. Debbie does Dallas featuring MicroMike. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Not good here. Let's see. Yeah, Montgomery is going to soften them up, and it's hard running as soon as they're breathing heavy in their hands and their hips. Gibbs is going to come slash them through. That's exactly what it's about. It's wearing them down, beating them down, and then you just run all over them, and it's a win, right? I mean, they can't stop it. You're out physically beating them. You're beating them physically, and there's not much you can do. In your opinion, did this week off come at the right time for Detroit? It sure did. I tell you what, I didn't like when the schedule came out, the bye week at week 5. I thought that sucked. Came at a major good time for Detroit. We needed to get healthy because we're beat up. Remember, the Lions have, 3 weeks more of playing on their body, the players do, than teams that weren't in the playoffs. So they're a little bit, they're going to be banged up a little bit more, and they're starting to get their feet under them right now. I mean, we've seen that with the offense. Who would have thought the NFC North is the best division? I say they're a great division, man, no doubt about it. I liked the NFC North, thought there was one of the toughest division football. I didn't expect the Lions, though, to be after competing with the Vikings, with them being 4-0. I didn't expect that. We don't underestimate any opponent, and the Cowboys have the number of years now. I know we just beat the Seattle Seahawks, but it's going to be a game. Fox boy, I think that's how our players are on it. But best believe this is the one game every single player on this team has been waiting to face. Dallas, after what happened last year. They are not looking past them. They are looking to destroy them. They are looking to decimate them and embarrass them from what happened last year. The Lions players wanted to face Dallas in the playoffs. That's how upset they were. They have waited for this game for a while, and a lot of Lions fans has waited for this game for a while. The Dallas Cowboys, they can't run the football, and they can't stop the run. And the Lions are going to do exactly both of those things. He says we should go all in after Mad Max. That's Max Crosby, Super Bowl or bust. Man, look, I think Mad Max would be great for the Detroit Lions. I would love it. I doubt they trade him. No way. I mean, he's so good. He's only 27 years old. Max Crosby is one of the best football players in the NFL. If we got Max Crosby, I would lose my mind. It would be so amazing. It would be so amazing. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes in this video. With your help, it absolutely can happen. Let's continue on here with questions for you guys. Is Darnold the real deal or a flash in the pan? Phil, I think he's the real deal for the Minnesota Vikings. Their offense is so potent. They got a great offensive line. They got great wide receivers. TJ Hawkinson's about to come back. I think that with what they got going on there, he's a perfect fit for it. He's doing great. Is it sustainable what he's doing? I don't think it's sustainable to the level he's doing, but they're going to still be good. Would you bet on Dallas because of the Zebras? I am betting on Detroit in this game because I don't think the Lions players are going to want to leave it to a one-score game. I think it will be a two-score game. That's how mad these guys are going to be. I really don't think that teams are ready for the high violence the Lions bring. They're not. We are a physical football team. I love how the Seattle player goes, these guys ain't tough. These mother ain't tough. I would love to do a little picture of the video of that guy saying that the Lions are not tough and then Montgomery pounding Devin Witherspoon into the ground as he continues to run for a 30-yard run after breaking 5 tackles. We're not tough. Seattle, we're tough. We're tough. And I got to say, Carlton Davis went up against one tough wide receiver. He had a hard responsibility, but you can tell we're more physical now in the back end. We're a tough all around. We're a tough team now. Our safeties are tough. Our corners are tough. Our linebackers, you seen Alex Anzalone, tough, right? Our defensive line, we're a tough physical football team. Offensive line, tough. Our wide receivers block. That's what they do. They love to block. We like to pound people in the face. We are just a tough team. And that's why we're good. You know, we could talk about schemes or Ben Johnson. We could talk about all of this and why are the Lions a good team? Why are they a Super Bowl contender? We're a Super Bowl contender because we're physical, we're tough, and we're going to punch you in the face. That's why they're a good team. They're just that's their brand of football they are. This is what I've been calling for ever since I was a kid. I want Lions to be a physical team, and we are now that. This is a situation where you could be good for a long time. It's a culture. This culture is set. You have to be a tough SOB to be a Detroit Lion. I don't care just about stats. You need to be a tough SOB. And that's it. You got to be tough. And I love it. Grit, grimy, blue collar, lunch pail. 12-hour days, overtime. You got coal all over your body. You got oil spilt as you're working on your car. That's what I think about Detroit Lions football and the players that we have. Just gritty guys, not divas, not girls. Gritty, gutty guys who will put their body on the line like Frank Ragnow, tearing his freaking his chest muscles and wanting to play right after. That's Detroit Lions football. So I love it when they say, oh, they're not tough. Yeah. Did it feel like the refs kept Seattle in the game? Oh, yeah. The refs have been trash in the NFL for a long time. And this year, they have been even more trash throughout all of the NFL. It's not just the Lions. They did call a lot on the Lions, and I think that's BS. But if you look around the NFL, flags are up significantly, and we're tired of it. The referees are ruining the game. I mean, it's got to be, they've got to make a switch on it. I'm tired of watching games that is so long because every other play there's a flag, and every special teams play there's a flag. Like, my God. It's, what is it? Every single other return there's going to be a flag? Like, it's just annoying. So yeah, I agree with you, Shane. That's it right there. And we're becoming too much of a flag type of football here, and not flag football where you're taking someone down when wearing a flag, but with the referees. You go to a high school game, there's way less flags. I watch college, way less. The referees are better there. It's just it gets old. The NFC champs again. I hope so. I have us winning the NFC North. I have us win the NFC North. And we got a big game in 2 weeks, man. Lions traveling to Minnesota. That's going to be the game of the week. I like the oil idea. Honestly, the officiating started going to hell right about the time they started hiring female refs. I don't know if there's a correlation there at all. I'm not going to say that. I think it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl throwing a flag, as long as you can see what's taking place. I think they're just... I don't know what it is, but they don't have full-time referees, and it's so annoying. They're a multi-billion-dollar business, and they can't have full-time referees. It's a joke. They don't punish the referees. There's nothing for bad calls. Nothing's ever done. They review it. Oh, well, but it's just got to get better. What's the deal with the rule on safeties now? Because when I watch the replay, it looks like Jared Goff extended his body over the goal line. So I don't know the exact... Maybe it's when I don't know the exact rule. I thought he extended past there, but maybe his knee was down before. I'm thinking that's what it is. But I don't know the exact rule for that. This isn't football, it's football. Enough with the flags. Thank you. We make runs like passes, and passes look like runs. Ben Johnson he is an offensive genius, James Janelle. He absolutely is. And you get an offensive genius with a great talented across the whole offense, and then you get a quarterback that's distributing the football. Your offense is good, and you're just physical. It's a devastating offense, man. We can beat you in so many different ways. That's what's so good. We can beat you with the long drive, and we can beat you with a quick strike. It's just like in overtime. Bam. Beat them down in overtime. But then in the game last week, quick strike to Jameson Williams, instant 70-yard touchdown. This team can just beat you in so many different ways. We can do a long 7-minute drive for a touchdown. We can do a 20-second drive for a touchdown. It's just like this team is multi-dimensional, and it's beautiful to see. And I got asked before the game, when I was on ESPN radio, are you worried that the Lions were going to lose because Frank Ragnow was not in there? We lost, Davenport, Derek Barnes. They go, we're concerned. I said, I'm not concerned. They're like, why is that? And I'm like, because our depth is amazing. We've already seen before Frank Ragnow can play center. We've already seen that Keudi Eosika can play left guard. We have great depth at linebacker. I wasn't worried. And what happened? Exactly that. Yeah, did our defense give up some yards? Yup. And some points? Yeah. But we do that all the time against Seattle. And our offense blew up. Because we're great at that. It's not about the 22. And to these Seattle fans who is crying about this game. Well, we had our starters out. We had our starters out too. And guess what? Don't complain to me or Lions fans that you lost because starters were out. Complain to your general manager and head coach for the lack of depth on your team. Because when we lose players, it's like, other guys can come in here. There's going to be players that you don't want to lose, Aiden Hutchinson, Jared Goff, but you got to have depth. That's the bottom line. And if you don't got it, you're going to end up like the Miami Dolphins, the Tua-less Dolphins. Get depth. Stop crying. Hashtag FMV. What about the horse collar tackle on Jared Goff? That was BS. I didn't realize that horse collar at the quarterback for a sack was not a horse collar. I was wrong. I instantly said that's a horse collar. That's 15 yards, and they said it wasn't. So that's weird that you can do it to other players, but you can't horse collar. You can horse collar the quarterback. Doesn't that seem off? I don't know. It's weird. When does free agency start? Free agency? Free agency's still going on right now. Free agency, the Lions could sign anybody right now. Did McBride get fined for lowering his helmet on Brian Branch? I don't know about that one. The Hawks don't want to hear about the Lions injuries. They want to pretend. I know. They want to pretend. It is what it is. If you can't deal with injuries, you're in the wrong league. You have 17 games you got to play in the NFL. 17 games. Does anyone actually believe all your 22 starters are going to be healthy through 17 games? No, it's unrealistic. It never happens. It's impossible. It's impossible. Oh, you meant the trade deadline. Oh, that's the 31st. That's the end of this month. I think it's 4 p.m. We'll see if we go live for it. I don't know because it is Halloween, and we'll see. Everybody said Minnesota is the team to beat. Do you think it's true? Well, they're 4-0. We got to beat them for sure. If you missed my comment, I'm going to miss comments all the time. Let me see. Now I got to go back. Let's see. Was it this one? Dan Campbell's great charisma is transcending across all of Detroit sports. You don't need a bunch of all-stars. You can win with the ragtag group of guys that are willing to play for each other. Look, you got to have people that believe. You got to have people that believe in what you're doing, and they do. They've built that. They got a player like Khalif Raymond early in this organization when they just started, who is one of those guys, right? They slowly got those guys, but we got studs, make no mistake about it. But we got players that play football, and then they'll go 110% for you. And then you got your superstars. So I agree with you. And you look at the Tigers, they're doing great. Wouldn't that be crazy if they win the World Series? Oh, my goodness. They win the World Series. The Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl. And Woodward Sports and Woodward Street is no longer in existence because so many people are going to be drunk on that road, and it's going to be chaos. And I will be there as well doing it. But not the chaos part, but getting drunk if that occurs while I'm on Woodward. But you can just imagine how crazy it would be. Besides, Broder's leaving Woodward Sports. Today was his last day. Shout out to Broder. Anytime you want to get on here, man, let me know. Appreciate you what you do. Aosika should be honored for doing good with Ragnow's out. I know. I gave him a lot of credit. That's why I wasn't concerned. And if Ragnow's not 100% healthy versus Dallas, I'm cool with them going with Aosika at left guard and putting Graham Glasgow at center again. I'm fine with it. I am. I think we can deal with this until he's healthy. I think he'll be healthy. I think he'll play that game, but 100%. Don't torture yourself on those shots. Bruh, those will kill you. Would Elim work as blocking fullback? He's a DT. We're good. We got Hesse on that. He's good at that job. Parker Hesse, Lions, number 4 tight end? Number 3 tight end. He is good to go for that. So we don't need for him to do that. And like Strikes, you're aware that Jared Goff had the greatest perfect passer rating 2018 of all time of 79 times it happened. I didn't know that occurred in... Yeah, I know he had the perfect passer rate. He should have had a perfect passer rate this past game. He was 18 for 18 for almost 300 yards passing. So he should, he's good. It's what he does. It's why I wasn't concerned about Jared Goff. A lot of people said, he got the money. And if you got the money, that he could fall off because that what happened in L.A. Folks, this is not L.A. We're not McVay. We're not Sean McVay. Our coach believes in Jared Goff. We support Jared Goff. The situation over there, they didn't support him. Of course, his confidence was hit. Imagine if you were a quarterback for a coach who did not believe in you, anything that you're doing, and probably undercut you. You would lose confidence. He's a different person here. He has gotten better in Detroit. His accuracy is better. He's reading defense is great. They said he was a one-read quarterback. I don't know how many times I have watched Jared Goff stand in the pocket and do his reads. 1, 2, 3. How many times have we seen that? He does that on nearly every single play, unless it's a design play like a tight end screen to Sam Laporta. But he's making his reads. He is comfortable in the pocket. So it's just, it is what it is. For there, let's see. Dan the Man is a generational coach. Feel proud to have him. Much respect. I feel great to have him. I have no idea, Sean. All I know is today was his last day, and so I'm wishing him nothing but the best. Let's see, Lions against everybody. That is 100% sure. Folks, I've been on for an hour. I'm about to get off right now. And enjoy the rest of the day. If there's any breaking news, obviously we're going to go ahead and talk about it. But right now we're going to get off. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. Hit that notification bell. Do all that lovely stuff. Only 15% of my audience has hit that notification bell. So smash that bad boy. It doesn't take much to do so. With that said, folks, bye-bye.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be.